Hello there, I'm Charlie, aka Ronan Logan X, and this is Ronan Logan X Reviews. In this video, I'm taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Deluxe Dark Trooper figure, based on its appearance in The Mandalorian. Now, I would like to preface this video by stating that I'm a big fan of these droids in Star Wars. That fandom almost certainly stemming from my love of the character Kyle Katarn and the video games in which he appears. The first of which being Dark Forces, where the Dark Trooper as a concept first appeared, I believe. There's just something so cool about these droids, especially in the Legends timeline. They're not only immensely powerful and dangerous, but they also have a bit of a dark backstory, at least the prototypes of them, which, if I remember correctly, is that they were originally cyborgs created from severely injured clone troopers. Anyways, getting back on track, it surely comes as no surprise that I was really looking forward to these figures. And for the most part, they don't disappoint. So let's get into it. Starting with accessories, the package comes kind of light in that department, at least in my opinion. In total, they come with a blaster rifle, an extra pair of hands, and some flight effects. Now, this is not necessarily a bad assembly of accessories for these droids. However, I feel like they could have either done more or sold this as a standard release. It doesn't really strike me as a deluxe figure, at least in terms of the accessories, or the size of the figure really either. However, that gripe starts to get more into the issue of pricing at retail. So we'll leave that for now. Moving on to the articulation, this figure I have almost no complaints with in regards to articulation. This is fantastic, simply put. Featuring more articulation than your normal Star Wars Black Series figure, likely due to its droid nature. If I had to pick out any gripes, and these would be super minor, the first is that the ankle joints are slightly loose, at least on my copies of this figure, and as a result, can be a little tricky to get him to keep standing after posing. And the second being due to the style in which the alternate hands can be swapped in and out onto the figure, which is done by pulling them off of a peg that is attached to the wrist joint. I dislike this design on two counts. The first being that the peg is attached to the wrist joint. It makes it difficult to push it on there while trying to keep the wrist stable. And the fact that I worry about the peg itself breaking off as you're trying to peg on the hands. But again, majorly minor issues, at least in my opinion. Now, being that this is a droid and not a person, there's no real likeness to take a look at. So instead, I'm just going to comment on the character design. And that primary comment is that I love it. In my opinion, it feels very much what I would have expected of a live-action adaptation of a Dark Trooper should be. More specifically, a Phase 3 Dark Trooper, which is what it looks like the most to me. There's just something that's intimidating and awesome about it that also just captures that spirit of the original design. So, with all of that said, I would give this figure a high recommendation, albeit with a caveat, which is try to get it on sale. As much as I love these droids and I love this design, I really don't think that this figure is worth the current deluxe retail asking price. But it is definitely still worth adding to your collection. And I'm really hoping that they release a Kyle Katarn Black Series figure sometime in the near future, as I would love to have him displayed facing off against these droids. I hope you have enjoyed this video and you have found it helpful and informative in any decisions you might have regarding the purchase of this figure. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, please comment, please subscribe, and ring that bell icon if you would like to be notified about any of my future videos. Also, if you might be interested in anything else of mine, you can find me on Instagram at RonanLoganX, where I post toy photography pictures as well as puppy pictures of my pup Ripley. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.